Oftentimes, historical maps show everything that people believe has been lost from the Bible. It hasn't been lost, it's only been forgotten. In fact, the details that you need to understand the entire Exodus crossing are right here on this map, beginning in the bottom left corner. The first feature in the very bottom left is Jebel Ataka. That is the great mountain and the cliff of Baal-Zephon. That is the place which stopped the progress of the Hebrews in that direction along the path. Looking from the word Jebel, cast your eyes to the right. Just before the water, you see a dashed line. That is the travel path. And as you can see, that travel path is going to continue around the entire Gulf of Suez to the Exodus crossing. But before we go to the crossing, let us look to the right from the word Jebel to the dashed line, then the water, and then you see the words Bay of Adabia. Adabia being the town which is now in the place where the Hebrews encamped before Baal-Zephon. That encampment location is below a blow-up map. So as we go to the path between Bay of Adabia and Jebel Ataka, up we see a blow-up map of the town of Suez, which has been built on the west side of the Exodus crossing location. Inside of this blow-up map, at the very top center of the map, Qalm el-Kalzum, that's ancient Klizma, the settlement on the high ground, which would later be expanded into the city of Suez after the Suez Canal was constructed. From that blow-up map, the top right corner of the blow-up map, you see a curved line. From that curve, you see the path continue, the dashed line which has the words caravan route to Cairo through the Wadi at-Ti. So the Hebrews were following this path, this well-known path, the only road west from the Exodus crossing location. At this time, they are traveling back east from the encampment where the Hebrews had to turn around, where they were shut in between the mountain, the sea, and the wilderness, to top center Suez. And here you can see entirely the Exodus crossing. Top center, the word Suez. To the right, mosque. To the right of the word mosque, pier. In between is Pi-HaHiroth, the Pi-HaHiroth, the Exodus crossing location. Continuing from Suez to mosque to pier, we cross the Suez Canal to the word landing place. And then the dashed line continues down and to the right, past the words Arabia Petraea, down to the bottom right corner, Ayan Musa, Moses Springs. That is Marah, the bitter springs, the very first water source after the Exodus crossing. And you can see the words See Corner Map. That is in the top right. That is a map of the location which has had the name Moses Springs for thousands and thousands of years. Now, from that top right map, go to the title, Gulf of Suez with the Springs of Moses, down. The words say shallows, dry at low tide. To the left of the word shallows, you can see a description. Let's go back to top center. To the right east of Suez, there are those shallows. That is the Exodus crossing. From the left of Suez, you see a path. From the right of pier and landing place, you see a path, and that was the crossing location itself, Pi-HaHiroth. Here on this map, we can see how physical geography determines the Exodus route. From left center, the word Noph is Memphis. North of there, up is Pithom. That is Pithom on Heliopolis. These two cities, and in between them is modern Cairo, is the place where the Nile Channel meets the Nile Delta, which has been the capital and central power seat of Egypt for thousands of years across its history. Up from Pithom is Pi-Boseth, which is Bubastis, and to the right and top, Rameses, land of Raamses, Goshen. Left center, Pithom, the capital. and then continuing back to the top at Rameses. Then we go to the Tumilat Valley, Sukkot. This is the most logical and well-traveled path along the canals of the pharaohs to the point top center where you see the blue low depression, which is now the Suez Canal. This has always been the easiest and most traveled path from Pithom and Raamses to Mount Sinai. Continuing from top center where the Suez Canal is, we come down to the very center. That is Suez, the head of Suez Bay on the Red Sea. From the very center to the left, we see a bracket, a red mountain, and the word Baal-Zephon. So you can see how daunting it would be to travel along the west side of the Red Sea beyond this point. It's a natural pinch point, be very difficult for 600,000 men, a retinue of over 1 million persons, to easily and quickly travel in this direction. But more importantly, down from Baal-Zephon, another bracket is an even more daunting and even more steep mountain. So historically at this time, during the Bronze Age, the road, even if travelers were to go beyond Baal-Zephon, would end at that next mountain. That's truly the end of the line. So that physical feature forces the Hebrews back to turn around and cross at Pi-HaHiroth, Suez, the Exodus crossing place. More details we have from the top center down a white dashed line. These walls were the walls of the pharaoh. That's Migdol. Migdol meaning fortification. So to the right of the modern Suez Canal was a protective wall, and this was another reason for the Hebrews to travel from Sukkot down along the canals of the pharaohs, modern Suez Canal. And you can see from Sukkot the arrow pointing toward Marah. So at the point where the Hebrews turn around, center to the left, Baal-Zephon, the mountain, they turn and they cross, and they finally reach Marah on the other sides, the bitter and brackish Moses wells, and continue from that direction toward Mount Sinai. The names on this last map are explained further in my other presentations. The key is, if you look to the left of each name, your eyes can see a route which would be traveled in the most direct path from Marah along the left side, the western side of each of these names, to Mount Sinai. This is the ancient travel path from Egypt proper to Mount Sinai. I am Daniel Adam Fink, Torah teacher. Torah is the Bible and related traditions.